This list integrates both the psychological behaviors and the underlying brain functions, giving a detailed look at how different areas of the brain contribute to these complex reactions to trauma-related media. Each area of the brain plays a critical role in shaping how individuals are drawn to, process, or emotionally distance themselves from traumatic content. 1. Voyeuristic curiosity, behavior. Some individuals may have a deep-seated curiosity about others' pain, often driven by a need to observe extreme situations without directly engaging in them. This curiosity can be compulsive, leading them to seek out content in the form of documentaries, interviews, or fictionalized accounts that depict trauma or suffering. Brain areas. Prefrontal cortex. Responsible for curiosity and decision-making, this area drives the urge to explore novel or intense information. It helps the individual decide to engage with traumatic content despite not being directly involved. Dopaminergic system. The brain's reward system releases dopamine, providing a sense of pleasure or satisfaction when encountering novel or emotionally charged content, reinforcing the need to keep consuming such material. 2. Morbid fascination, behavior. Morbid fascination describes being drawn to the emotional intensity or shock value of others' trauma, like slowing down to look at a car accident. This fascination often involves an attraction to the sensational or graphic aspects of trauma, providing an indirect way to experience fear, disgust, or shock. Brain areas. Central to processing emotions like fear, arousal, and shock, the amygdala becomes highly active when viewing morbid or disturbing content, fueling the individual's interest. Insular cortex. This region is involved in feelings of empathy and disgust, contributing to the emotional pull toward highly negative stimuli. It helps the individual engage with media that elicits strong emotional responses, even if those emotions are uncomfortable or disturbing. 3. Vicarious trauma-seeking, behavior. Individuals who engage in vicarious trauma-seeking may immerse themselves in others' traumatic experiences to process their own unresolved feelings. Watching or reading about trauma becomes a way for them to confront emotional pain indirectly, often experiencing a sense of catharsis through the trauma of others. Brain areas. Mirror neurons, premotor cortex, and parietal lobe. These neurons allow individuals to empathize with others by mirroring their emotional states, which is why trauma-seeking individuals may feel deeply connected to the suffering portrayed. They essentially feel the pain of others as if it were their own. Anterior cingulate cortex. The ACC processes both emotional and physical pain, giving these individuals a sense of shared emotional suffering when they engage with traumatic media. This contributes to their need to repeatedly seek out such content for emotional release or processing. 4. Psychological projection. Behavior. Psychological projection occurs when individuals attribute their own unconscious emotions or unresolved trauma to others, often without realizing it. By consuming media about others' trauma, they may project their internal conflicts onto the victims they observe, allowing them to externalize their pain and avoid direct confrontation with their own emotional struggles. Brain areas. Prefrontal cortex. This area is involved in higher-order thinking and decision-making, facilitating the cognitive distortion where individuals unconsciously shift their emotions onto others. Temporal lobe. This part of the brain processes memory and emotional experiences, enabling individuals to transfer their own emotional baggage onto external situations, allowing them to explore these emotions from a distance. 5. Desensitization, behavior. Repeated exposure to traumatic or disturbing content can lead to desensitization, where individuals become emotionally numb or less reactive to distressing stimuli. Over time, the initial shock or discomfort they felt diminishes, and they may begin to seek out more extreme content to feel the same emotional intensity they once did. Brain areas. Amygdala. As people repeatedly consume traumatic media, the amygdala's response to fear and shock becomes dulled. The brain adapts, reducing emotional arousal, which explains why individuals may feel less impacted by content that initially disturbed them. Medial prefrontal cortex, MPFC. The MPFC helps regulate emotions and responds to distressing stimuli, but with constant exposure, it can become less responsive, contributing to the emotional detachment and numbness characteristic of desensitization.
Past is behind us, man. It's time to grow up. Got the road to hell in front of us. Well,
Yes.
will you marry me?
Of course I'll marry you. I've been waiting for you to say that for so long. But where are we gonna get married?
All right here, man. It's not true.
I got the perfect thing.
And you were the name. You sent me a rose. Would you dare to kiss my
Give me your hand.
Would you caress me?
That's not what I had in mind. Fuck you! Oh,
Okay, come together.
it's very romantic, baby. We'll be living in all the oceans now.